Hey everybody, so today we're going to do a deep dive into a brand new tool that I've been geeking out about. It is one of the most transformative things I've ever seen with the AI space, and I've gone through a lot of them. Google VO3 from Google DeepMind is incredible. And what it does basically is it combines, you put in a text prompt and it will not only generate the video, like the visuals, but it will also generate the audio and it will also generate the sound effects. So it basically is an entire immersive all-in-one video creator that does everything. What we used to have to do with all the tools that have already been on the market is we could generate an image and then turn that into a moving video, but it still didn't have necessarily the audio. Then we had to use a different tool like 11 Labs or something to generate the audio, the narration or what's coming out of the person's mouth, and then sync those two up. And there were tools that would kind of make the person's mouth move the way that the audio was telling them to. But this just does everything all in once. And many of you probably don't know, but I also have a film and television background. I've acted in several big movies and TV shows with Oscar-winning actors. And to see this does make me a little bit sad. I've always had the dream of winning an Oscar one day and those types of things. And that may still be in the future, but seeing this, I do know is going to put a lot of people out of business if they don't adapt to this and don't learn how to navigate and use these tools, especially people that are in commercial work right now. And then eventually I can see a day where you'd be able to prompt an entire movie with consistent characters and everything in whatever style that you want. So the whole world of Hollywood is shifting for sure. And I'm not going to be left behind. So I want to not only educate myself, but educate all of you out there in whatever business you're in on how to navigate this. So with that, I'm going to say that I did make a video that I'm going to show you. It is on the channel here, but I also put it on all my socials with a little bit of my dialogue just to let people know what's actually happening, because a lot of these visuals are quite believable. And if you put this out 6 months from now, it's going to be, I can see a day where we're not going to be able to discern what is real and what is AI generated. And that has some dangerous implications. For example, my brother-in-law showed me something that somebody created that was just a picture of him and one of his coworkers standing next to each other. And the AI made it to where it looked like they were kissing and it looked quite believable. And I was like, this is going to ruin marriages. Just this alone, just somebody playing around, joking, can it really look like a real video. There's some examples in this that are like of a newscast or just street interviews or just really any kind of scenario that you can think of. Think of like the political spectrum where people can literally make a congressperson or a president say whatever they want them to say. And if you're not educating yourself and also educating your family members about what is out there, they're going to take a lot of this for fact, and it can have some dangerous consequences. I also do overall think that AI in its broad stroke is going to be a positive for humans. I do think that it will allow us to find cures for diseases that we haven't been able to find cures for. It will allow us to figure out new ways to run society and things that we've never considered before, and also just expand our ability to understand the universe and what's beyond that, and so many other things that I haven't even processed yet. But just today, we're going to talk about this video component and where it is right now. Now, a year ago, we had videos of like the common one that people try to create is Will Smith eating spaghetti. And it was like this discombobulated thing where his arm was morphing into noodles and kind of going into his mouth. And now it literally can look like the real Will Smith eating actual fine dining, and it looks perfect. So let me just play this video and then we'll talk more about it.
Breaking news tonight, AI is changing everything, and leading the charge is Jason Edwards, whose insights are helping thousands stay ahead of the curve.
Who are you learning all this AI content from?
I learned it all from Jason Edwards.
Don't ask where I learned to break the code, flip the flow. Jason Edwards taught me everything I know.
If you're struggling with overwhelm, confusion, or prompt anxiety, try learning AI from Jason Edwards. Side effects may include...
All right, it's Jason Edwards.
I learned it all from Jason Edwards.
Dad still thinks AI is when you talk to the microwave. Meanwhile, I'm learning prompt engineering from Jason Edwards and trying to automate my entire personality.
All right, so that was the video, and I tried to put a little bit of a few different views, I guess. One is a newscaster, one is a kind of like a pharmaceutical commercial, one is a stand-up comedian. So you can just see a wide range of what people could do this for, and positive and negative things will definitely come from this. Let me just read you what I wrote, because I put a lot of time into thinking this through, and I think it's pretty insightful. So it says, yes, this entire video was made with AI. The actors fake, the scenes fully generated, the dialogue prompted, not performed, all of it using Google VEO3. I've been in tech and business my whole life. I still remember the first time I heard the dial-up modem scream. That sound changed everything. I also wanted to be an actor as long as I can remember, and have been lucky enough to act in some incredible films and TV shows. So yeah, the AI impact on the industry, honestly, it hurts a little. But this is a moving train with no stop in sight. I know I'll get some hate for this post. Some people will think I'm feeding the machine, but my intention is to educate, to raise awareness, to help people navigate the inevitable future before it blindsides them. People love to point out its flaws. The text looks a little off. It's a little frame here and there is weird. Sure. But the truth is, what you're seeing today is exponentially better than just 6 months ago, and very soon it will be indistinguishable from reality. We've crossed the threshold. We can no longer believe everything, and I should put anything you can see online. Yes, there will be deepfake, scams, manipulation, but there's also an opportunity, innovation, creativity. This tech will absolutely change the world, and it has already begun. I'll be sharing a lot more about how AI is impacting us for better and for worse. And yes, I put my name in every video to prove I made it with AI. Stay curious, stay critical. We're not looking at the future anymore. We're standing inside of it. So this whole thing took me maybe 3 minutes to create. So if you just factor, even like I've done commercials, I've done music videos before, that literally was a 2-day job that I made thousands of dollars for. Okay, just one of many people that were on set, both in front of and behind the camera. I'm going to show you an example now of somebody who is literally transforming the way that you can look at something like that. This guy, PJ, says, I used to shoot $500,000 pharmaceutical commercials. I made this for $500 in VO3 credits in less than a day. What's the argument for spending $500K now? Steal my prompt below, and he puts his prompt. So we'll play his actual video here.
I tried everything for my depression. Nothing worked.
Every day felt heavy. I felt trapped.
Then I tried Puppermin.
Our prescription helps your body secrete a special pheromone that attracts puppies.
I took the pill before bed, and when I woke up, there he was, the love of my life.
The pill does not target depression directly, but we've found that it's really difficult to be depressed when cute dogs show up at your doorstep. I used to feel so empty, but now I feel joy and mild concern how a pee stain got on the ceiling.
My puppy listens twice as good as my ex-husband and only climbs into the lap of half as many of my friends.
He chewed up my Bible and pooped in my good chair, but I'm happy for the first time in years.
Looks like a rat, barks like a demon, but he saved my life.
I named him Earl. He follows me everywhere and farts in his sleep. Just like my first husband.
Pupramine, for when your therapist says, maybe you should get a dog.
Okay, Arthur Ingleworthington.
Okay, so that is incredible. I mean, I've worked, like I said, on several commercials, and oftentimes it can be several tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the scope of the commercial. And although that did have some minor flaws, we are very close to being able to generate that without any flaws at all. And for less than just I was paid on set, this guy generated that. Obviously, it was a fake commercial. It was kind of comical, but the ingredients are there. People, just little short clips of different experiences that people have had with whatever you're trying to promote. And it can do anything, and it can create any set in any style and do 10 different takes, and you just get whatever you want. And the biggest thing is you don't have to pay residuals to actors, and there's so many things. I'm not excited about that. I love to get the residuals, and I love for my friends that are in the space to continue to be able to work. And there will be some opportunities still, but I'm just saying that we all need to be educated on what is coming and what is already here. Especially like in my example of my first video showing the newscaster reports. I think that's going to become very prevalent, and I think people are going to do a lot of fake news stories that look incredibly believable. And so I'm just fearful a bit of that. But let's talk a little bit more about just some exciting things that I've been trying with this. I'll talk about some pricing of what this looks like, and we'll wrap up the video. So first of all, pricing wise, the monthly cost of this is quite high. It's $250 a month, but they do have a 3-month introductory price of $125 per month, and that gives you 12,500 credits. Each VO3 video generated costs around 150 credits. So with 83 videos, I think I calculated it out to, at full price, it would cost around $3 per generation that I create. So it can get quite costly if you're just doing this as a hobby, but if you're using this for business, or if you're using this to sell things to clients, then you could easily make a return on that in lieu of somebody spending $20,000, or as he said, $500,000 on a pharmaceutical commercial. You could probably generate your own video for $500 to $1,000 and charge a client $20,000, $50,000, and still have them come out ahead. So that is one aspect to look at. I do also think that a lot of these other platforms that have already been in the video generation space, like Kling AI and others, are likely going to be quick to incorporate things like this. Obviously, Google has so much data and so much money that they will likely lead this space at some point, if not already. But there are other platforms that are already out there that have a lot of users that I'm sure now that they're seeing this, are going to quickly figure out a way to combine all of these, or maybe some partnerships will start happening where all this will happen seamlessly. But that is the pricing side. Let me just show you some fun things I've been doing and playing around with. So one thing I created was this Bigfoot daily vlog. I saw one other example of this. I thought it was really cool. So I'm doing this, but I'm also going to be using this tool for several other YouTube channels and things I'm creating that are quite faceless. So I can have a image or a video of Bigfoot in this case, and they are going to be the face of the channel. So let me just play a couple of these examples. These are just test ones that I've been doing, and I'll get better as we go. And then I'll go in and show you how to make a video.
Hey, it's Bigfoot. This is my first vlog. Follow me if you want to see what it's really like to be me.
Yo, it's Bigfoot back with another Forest Cam check-in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and yeah, I still don't wear shoes. Yo. Hey, welcome back. It's laundry day. Again, you ever try wringing out a sock the size of a canoe? Yeah, it's a vibe. Hey, welcome back. It's laundry day. Again, you ever try wringing out...
Okay, so one thing you'll notice is the characters. I'm having trouble with character consistency, so these guys
Hey, welcome back. Yo.
look a good bit different.
It's Bigfoot.
That is, I'm sure, going to be fixed in future generations of this. But also, I can only do 8-second clips right now, so compiling a bunch of those could get quite expensive if I'm doing this at scale just for this channel. So I'm just kind of testing it. But already in the first day, we got, I think, 10 or 11 subscribers and a couple hundred views. So off to a great start. And this is just a fun little case study I'm doing. But I'm doing a lot of other channels too that I'm not going to reveal quite yet till I get some traction with them. If I fail with them, I'll tell you. But if I get some traction, I don't want it to be because of this channel being the cause of that. I want it to be solely by itself. So I'll tell you about those later. So final thing, let me show you how to actually go and generate a video. So I'm doing a couple things here. I'm going to use ChatGPT first. Okay, here we are inside of our ChatGPT dashboard for the Bigfoot videos that I was creating. I'm just going to ask it to make me another prompt doing some other random scenario. So create another prompt for VO3 that shows a day in the life of Bigfoot and something he'd be doing out in the woods. This is an 8-second clip. Okay, here's the prompt that it generated for us. A vertical handheld medium shot captures realistic Bigfoot, tall, covered in thick, earth-toned fur with slightly weathered but gentle features, standing in front of a narrow forest trail. He grabs a heavy fallen branch with both hands and drags it off the path with effort. The forest is quiet except for birdsong. Diffused sunlight filters through the canopy. As he finishes, he glances toward the camera and speaks in a calm, slightly winded tone. Cleared this trail last week, but nature doesn't care. Guess that's the job. He shrugs, brushes dirt off his hands, and keeps walking. So let's see how close, if we copy this and we paste it into VO3 here. So I'm going to do a new prompt here. Let's go back to our dashboard. New project. Paste this in here. One thing I noticed is if you remove these parentheses here, then it will likely, sometimes it puts this weird captions below where it doesn't quite make sense and it's not written properly. So if I remove that, it doesn't use captions typically. Sometimes it does, but other thing we have to do is change this. This is fast model. So this is VO2. We need to make this on VO3. So I'm going to time how long this takes, and then I'll let you know here. Okay, so that ended up taking about 3 minutes to generate. This is the first time of all the generations that it's done the vertical video like I said to do, so that'll be interesting. I'll probably have to go and alter the direction of this in my editing software, but let's just see what it generated here.
Cleared this trail last week, but nature doesn't care. Guess that's the job. Cleared this trail last week, but nature doesn't care. Guess that's the job.
Okay, interesting. So it has like this little lens.
Cleared this
smudge right here or something too.
Trail last week.
Or a sun flare maybe.
But nature doesn't care. Guess that's the job.
It's almost like a dirty lens, which is pretty unique and would be appropriate for being out in the woods with mud and all this stuff. So interesting stuff. So I'm going to keep playing with this and doing a lot of different other channels with this, and I have a lot of other ideas. One idea I've been working with is generating kind of that commercial like what we saw earlier, but for a certain industry, like say a roofing company, for example, and you leave the last one out, which is interchangeable. So if they need to say ABC roofing, they can. If they need to say XYZ roofing, they can. And maybe you license that out to 50 different roofing companies or something like that for $500 a month or whatever you could do. Or for those of you that use HighLevel that have followed the channel for a while, that might be something you could incorporate too with UpX, or offering them some kind of ads package where you can generate a new ad every single month or every 3 months for them and do some kind of licensing thing that way. So that's another way to look at it. So with that, I hope you guys go around and play with Flow if you are inclined to. They do have some things you can do with the VO2 version, which are far less expensive. But if you have the $125 to try it out, I recommend doing it. I think even if you just made content about it, you could probably make most of your money back. But beyond that, just start incorporating all of these video and AI tools to learn, because this is going to be what's our future and it's already here. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.